Tonight on CTV News at 11:30, a messy mix. Freezing rain and heavy snow sweeps across parts of Northeastern Ontario this long weekend. Plus, pushing ahead.
Everything is on site now. We have the trusses, we have the 8x8s.
A farmer's market in Timmins breaks ground on a new expansion. And shining a light on neurodiversity.
It's just a reminder that they're not alone and their families aren't alone.
Communities across the north mark Autism Awareness Day.
CTV News at 11:30 with Ian Campbell and Rick Wyman with weather.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. Ian is off tonight. We begin with the spring storm that is sweeping much of northeastern Ontario this holiday weekend. From heavy snow to freezing rain, Mother Nature just doesn't want to let go of winter. Let's bring in CTV's Rick Wyman to tell us more.
We've got a lot of messy weather to deal with to kick off the Easter weekend. Have a look. We've got some snow to the north in the Kapuskasing, Timmins area, Chapleau as well, Temiskaming Shores. Then to the south, we've got rain, freezing rain, drizzle, freezing drizzle, and of course, lots of rain in some of those quantities that you've never dreamt about at this time of the year. So Amanda, we'll get to the details in just a couple of minutes and some of the amounts that people can expect in their locale throughout northeastern Ontario. Not a great start to the Easter weekend. Back to you.
Thanks for that, Rick. As a result of the weather he was mentioning, there are a number of road closures around our region. The following roads are closed in both directions: Highway 17 between the OPP detachment and the MTO weigh scales in Hayden, Highway 129 between Highway 101 in Chapleau and Highway 554 in Warncliffe, Highway 144 between the watershed in Gogama and Highway 101 in Timmins, and Highway 17-101 in Wawa to Highway 70-72 in Folliette. Earlier this week, Prime Minister Mark Carney and Premier Doug Ford signed the Canada-Ontario Partnership to Build. The governments will jointly spend $8.8 billion over the next decade to reduce municipal development charges. CTV's Lindsay Alick has reaction from the north.
Sam Basucci, the owner of Salden Developments, which builds homes in Sault Ste. Marie and Sudbury, has been in the business for over 45 years. He says home builder associations have been fighting to not have development charges and were successful in Sault Ste. Marie, but has been paying them for almost 20 years in Sudbury.
By comparison, you know, Sudbury is, I believe, 22,000. In the GTA, it's as high as 130,000. I mean, you compound the interest on that on a lifetime, you'll be 50 years old before you pay the development charges with the interest on it when you buy a house. It's totally incomprehensible. Cities
will get cash up front as long as they agree to knock charges down by at least half for 3 years through the partnership funding deal.
I wish I was a year ago and we could have avoided the situation that we're in, you know, but it's a welcome. Home building is a resilient economy and home builders are resilient. There will be a recovery.
Meantime, the Federation of Northern Ontario Municipalities supports efforts to increase housing supply and improve affordability across Ontario.
We understand that there's still talks around the availability of that funding for communities who don't have development charges, but still nothing's carved in stone. So we want to make sure that they recognize that, you know, we have to be able to access funding as well.
Approximately 50% of the 110 municipalities FNUM represents don't have development charges and oftentimes experience higher per kilometer costs for essential infrastructure such as water, wastewater, and roads.
In Northern Ontario, this is where the development's going to happen in the future, recognizing that the mines are going to be growing at a rapid pace and that there's going to be a real need for people to find places to stay in communities like ours.
CTV News reached out to the city of Sudbury to see how the changes would affect charges locally. A spokesperson for the mayor's office says that staff are currently looking into the details of the announcement. Lindsay Alick, CTV News, Sudbury.
Ontario Special Investigations Unit has been called in to take over following an arrest in Iroquois Falls. According to the OPP, officers made an arrest Monday around lunchtime for outstanding warrants. Just a little more than 24 hours later, the suspect went into medical distress while in custody and was rushed to hospital. The provincial police force says it can't comment any further as it's now before the SIU. $142,000 in drugs were seized after police and paramedics responded to an intimate partner violence at a hotel room in Wawa Tuesday. That, according to the OPP, which says it arrested a 32-year-old from Sault Ste. Marie with assault. During the related search, officers located suspected drugs, handguns, ammunition, and 1.2 kilograms of methamphetamine. Other drugs and trafficking paraphernalia were also found. A 32-year-old and a 21-year-old from the Sioux face several charges. Across the world, people with autism are being celebrated. CTV's Corey Nordstrom was on hand as the city of Sault Ste. Marie recognized today as World Autism Awareness Day.
Let this day inspire ongoing efforts to ensure that Sault Ste. Marie remains an active community that celebrates neurodiversity and recognizes every person for their strengths and contributions.
In honor of World Autism Awareness Day, a proclamation and flag raising at City Hall.
It's just a reminder that they're not alone and their families aren't alone, and there's plenty of people around that understand their needs, and we're here to help.
To be able to, make everybody feel included as part of the community, and the excitement on their faces is really rewarding part of the job.
The festivities continued at the Youth Wellness Hub, a special place that allows neurodivergent children to learn and socialize together.
They have games so you can play down there, and they have a big TV where you can watch movies and stuff. And then the funniest part, they let you do activities here.
According to the youth, the whole day means a lot to them, especially seeing their flag at City Hall.
It was pretty cool. I'm very proud of my identity and my neurodivergence. It's a big part of who I am, and although I do occasionally struggle with it and I understand other people struggle with it, I do see it as a gift.
Also announced today, Algoma Family Services is partnering with researchers from Queen's University for a photo voice project aimed at bringing a voice to those who may have difficulties expressing themselves.
Our big question in the research is, what is autistic youth thriving? And so we're starting here, but really we're here because youth here are saying they need more services and more programs.
The results of the project will be shared with government officials, service agencies, or whoever is determined to be able to help the most based on its content. Corey Nordstrom, CTV News, Sault Ste. Marie.
Meanwhile, 64 students from 11 schools within the French Public Board had the opportunity to meet each other in a fun environment that was designed with their needs in mind. Activities range from bouncy castles to face painting. Organizers tell CTV News days like today build acceptance and show kids they belong.
I think it's important to have a function like this to create the awareness in our communities. By having the community donate and see what's happening here in our schools, and also so that these kids are recognized for their potential.
It helps with their resilience. These kids have to walk into our schools and adapt to the schools every day, where here the event is just for them. It's conceived by people that understand how autistic kids work, and all the activities are geared towards them.
Well, any friends today? I did saw a lot of friends I haven't met before.
Students we spoke with today add today's activities were more fun than regular school. They came from schools from across Greater Sudbury, Marks Day, and Noelville. At the moment, the Warming Center in Sudbury's Energy Court is open 24 hours, but a city staff report proposes a major reduction starting May 1st. CTV's Alana Everson reports.
This trailer operates as a social services hub, serving the homeless and vulnerable. The service provider is the Go Give Project. On May 1st, services will be reduced from 24 to 8 hours.
It does leave 16 unsupervised hours for everybody in the Energy Court area and will affect the broader community. So we're hoping, when we go back to planning, we can discuss some of these finer details, both with our councillors and city staff.
City Councillor Mike Parent has asked for a staff report at the mid-May meeting, updating council once the hub is reduced to 8 hours.
My motion received unanimous support from my peers to extend at least the 8-hour service through the month of May while we work harder to understand the gaps, and the services need to fill those gaps.
Parent says funding for the services offered at Energy Court are the responsibility of federal and provincial governments, not municipalities.
94% of those in Energy Court are struggling with addiction issues, and 86% with mental health. These are provincial responsibilities.
We are very excited with the Government of Canada announcement today from the Unsheltered, Homeless and Encampments Initiative that there will be more money that is being invested into numerous provinces in regard to this matter.
The cost to operate the proposed cooling centre from May to September is $800,000. At this point, a cost the city will be paying alone out of reserves.
If we don't provide any services, we're really concerned about the consequences to those members of the community if they have no supports at all, the consequences to businesses and residences of the area.
The Go Give project says it would like to see the cooling centre run for 12 hours and encampment response 16 hours a day from May to September. Alan Everson, CTV News, Sudbury.
All right, let's talk about the weather again. It's time now for a short break here on CTV News. Coming up, Rick will have your full weather forecast. But for now, we'll look at the current conditions. But of course, look at those weather alerts out there. We have freezing rain warnings, rainfall warnings, snowstorm warnings. It's just a mess out there. -5 degrees in Chapleau with snow falling, some snow falling in North Bay as well. Your full forecast coming up next.
Take a look at this mess. This is what it's all about to kick off your Easter weekend, beginning this evening, continuing overnight into tomorrow. Forecast radar courtesy of Environment Canada. We'll get to some of the details in just a moment as to what you could expect. Take a look, and more of the same, some snow, rain, freezing rain, and of course those rain totals not overly impressive. Now, some of the numbers. Greater Sudbury this evening, anywhere from 30 to 40 millimeters of rain, some sleet tomorrow, rain on Saturday. Sunday, chance of flurries again on Monday. Tuesday, some sunny skies, and Wednesday, some sun and cloud. In Sault Ste. Marie, 20 to 30 millimeters of rain. The same also applies to Parry Sound. But for Sault Ste. Marie, Algoma, rain drizzle. For tomorrow, freezing rain and rain, chance of flurries on Sunday, chance of flurries once again Easter Monday, and some sunny skies on Tuesday with a high of 1. Different story, however, for Timmins, Cochrane, Kapuskasing. While we've got ice pellets and snow for tomorrow at -1, this evening, overnight, 10 to 15 centimeters of snow and ice pellets. Let's continue with that forecast now. Saturday and Sunday, more snow and highs of 0. Monday, sun and cloud, -4 your high. Tuesday, loads of sunshine and -2. Wednesday, sun and cloud and 3 degrees. Timiskaming Shores. And of course, Kirkland Lake, it gets wet. 30 to 40 millimeters of rain for this evening and overnight. Tomorrow, rain, drizzle, and 7. Freezing rain and rain on Saturday. Chance of flurries Sunday. Chance of flurries on Monday at -2. 0 Tuesday, and some sun and cloud, 4 degrees. Notice how the nicer weather comes after the long weekend. Okay, how about North Bay and West Nipissing? More rain for North Bay, 30 to 40 millimeters of rain this evening and overnight. Tomorrow, sleet, +11. I love that temperature, but not the conditions. Rain Saturday at 4, chance of flurries on Sunday at 2 degrees. -1 on Monday, chance of flurries. -2 Tuesday, loads of sunshine. Wednesday, some sun and cloud, and 4 degrees. So, Amanda, what can I say about the weather this weekend? A lot of people were asking me about great weather, not going to happen till the start of next week, with at least some sunshine and some sun and cloud in the forecast, and warmer temperatures. Sorry for the very poor start. It's going to be messy, it's going to be wet, so people have to drive carefully and be safe. Back to you.
Absolutely, Rick. Thanks so much for that. The regional fire partnership between Espanola and Sable Spanish Rivers is entering its next phase with a new name on the roster. Brandon Courtemanche has been named the new Regional Deputy Fire Chief, bringing experience from the Toronto Fire Service and a background in industrial leadership at Valet. In a press release today, the town of Espanola says his hiring marks the next step in a cost-sharing partnership designed to boost training and safety standards across both municipalities. Courtemanche will assume the role on May 4th. A family near Ottawa is speaking out after a power bank sparked a lithium-ion battery fire in a bedroom. CTV's Katie Griffin has their story.
This was my room.
Gabby Hammond's bedroom, unrecognizable.
1 second I was sleeping, and then the next second, like my room was in flames.
The power bank she used to charge her phone was in her bed and caught fire last month.
I heard a pop sound, and I kind of sprung up out of my bed, and then I felt my arm kind of burning. I tried to put the fire out with my pillow, and then I kind of threw the charger on the phone, but my mattress had already caught fire, so it just kept going and getting bigger.
Firefighters arrived on scene within 3 minutes. The fire spreading so fast, flames were already through the roof of the Stittsville home. It's the 9th fire caused by lithium-ion batteries in Ottawa so far this year.
Once they start catching, they spread fast and they burn hot. In this case, it's a newer build home and they burn very fast. So we saw that the fire was right through the roof upon arrival, and that's because of how fast homes burn now, only giving people on average 3 minutes to get out of a home.
In December, INU recalled more than 200,000 BI-B41 power banks in the United States sold on Amazon after 15 reports of overheating, some causing fires and burns. Hammond bought hers in Canada, and while there isn't a current recall in this country, Health Canada says it's regularly reviewing recalls posted in other jurisdictions, including the U.S. CTV reached out to the company multiple times but did not hear back in time for broadcast. On its website, it says there was a potential issue with specific battery cells used in limited batches.
We're seeing more lithium-ion battery fires due to misuse of them, not following manufacturers' instructions, and just the simple act of dropping a lithium-ion battery on a hard surface may damage the battery and it should be replaced.
Amazon says items such as those referred to here are currently legal under applicable laws and as such are available in our store. Adding customers with concerns can contact customer service.
We're grateful to be alive. We're grateful that we have a community that's here for us.
As for Gabby Hammond, she's staying away from power banks.
Try not to keep chargers or even devices in bed with you.
A warning for Sudbury residents and snow removal crews. Use caution when digging out near ground level transformers and utility boxes. Despite being covered in snow, Greater Sudbury Utilities says these transformers remain energized. It adds pad-mounted transformers carry high voltage and pose risk, including arc flashes, electrocution, or fire if damaged. Officials are recommending if you find one while digging out around your property to treat it as a high voltage emergency. Stay clear of the boxes and call your utility provider, who will send crews to come deal with it. The Ontario Down Syndrome Association recently had the opportunity to speak at the United Nations as part of the World Down Syndrome Day conference. CTV's Madison Marier has more.
Inclusion was at the top of Carlo and Rachel DeCarlo's agenda when speaking at the United Nations in Geneva and New York.
Here in Canada, there's a real question is, do we have real inclusion? And so I think it's important to come together, to share ideas, to listen to self-advocates, hear their voices, and find out about how they've been empowered, and just kind of together we move the goals and the advocacy forward.
It's a micro community that is so supportive, empathetic, loving, and just works together to reach everybody's goals. I think if we could expand that on a macro level, we'd have a more idealistic society.
The pair has been in contact with Down syndrome groups from the United States, Mexico, Europe, and more, hoping to increase awareness and achieve their advocacy goals.
We want to teach individuals with Down syndrome about their rights. I think when people are aware of their rights and what privileges they should have, then when they don't have those, it gives them a voice to say, hey, this doesn't feel right, this doesn't look right, what can we do to make this better? And we know if we want authentic change, we need the population itself to be engaged in that change.
We're talking about going to Geneva again next year, or going to the World Down Syndrome Conference in Argentina next year. So I think that this was a great opportunity to expand our local reach and have our members right here in Sudbury have a chance to grow and expand their own minds and understand the possibilities they have.
Rachel said having a representative from Sudbury helps advocacy grow in Northern Ontario on the global stage. Madison Marier, CTV News, Sudbury.
The Mountjoy Farmers Market in Timmins isn't letting a springtime snowstorm slow down its expansion plans. The organization is preparing to begin construction on a brand new pavilion. CTV's Lydia Chubak reports.
New lumber is stacked and ready as work is set to begin at the Mountjoy Farmers Market site in Timmins. The success of the weekly market, which runs for 20 weeks from May 30th through the Thanksgiving weekend, has made it possible for the organization to build a second pavilion.
Everything's on site now. We have the trusses, we have the 8x8s. So the contractor, we were lucky to have Work Monster, the same company that did the first pavilion. So he's got some expertise, he's got some experience because we've done it before. So we're hoping that within 6 weeks we should be able to get the building almost ready.
Wissell says between 2,000 and 3,000 people attend the Saturday morning markets. He adds the pavilions provide shelter and shade for both vendors and customers, with local growers given priority.
I just noticed that the Borealis is coming back, so that's a farmer that we had lost for a couple of years. I'm happy they're back in service, that they're growing again. The requests from farmers are because of the popularity of the market, so we are getting a bigger out-of-town requests as well. And the smaller guys that are getting a little bit bigger and they're creating more and more produce on their farms are coming out to see us. So some are not even particular farmers, but just enough of a big backyard to grow enough vegetables and a few things that they could come sell at the market.
A couple of other future notable upgrades will include a new Mountjoy Farmers Market sign and permanent washroom facilities. Lydia Chubak, CTV News, Timmins.
Still ahead tonight on CTV News, pause everything you're doing. A dog show in Sudbury will unleash some talent this weekend. The Sudbury Wolves saw their playoff run come to a heartbreaking halt tonight. Rowan Henderson scored the lone goal against the Brantford Bulldogs, but the Bulldogs would go on to defeat the Wolves with a 2-1 win. While the playoff run is over, the message from the dressing room is clear. The Pack fought hard this season.
No quit attitude. Leadership was outstanding throughout the room. It shows that they really care about each other. And their attention to detail has been outstanding. You know what? Sometimes you lose.
A lot of good character in that room, and you can tell. I mean, a lot of tears. Guys care, and you can tell they care. And you know, it's a really good sign, and things moving forward with all the guys coming back. But no, you hate to lose, and you hate to lose like that in front of the home fans. But yeah, it's just hard.
Meanwhile, the North Bay Battalion kept their playoff dreams alive. The troops won against the Peterborough Petes 3-1 tonight. Game 6 will be in North Bay Saturday night. Meanwhile, in the NOJHL, the Sioux Eagles were in Sudbury taking on the Cubs. The Cubs took home ice advantage with a 5-1 win, and the Timmins Rock faced Hearst with the Lumberjacks suffering a 7-4 loss. It's 3 days of championship dog shows this weekend in the Sudbury community of Coniston. The Nickel District Kennel Club is hosting the competition at the Tobe Lake Memorial Arena tomorrow through Sunday. The shows will feature over 200 registered Canadian Kennel Club purebred show dogs. And yes, you will get a chance to pet some of the puppies. And just a quick note, large cities and smaller municipalities are heading into a long weekend service schedule. In Sudbury, that means Tom Davies Square, libraries, youth centers, pools, fitness facilities, and the animal shelter will be closed Friday and Monday. It's a similar deal in other municipalities. Timmins adds tomorrow's garbage collection will take place on Monday. The landfill will also be closed Friday. And Sault Ste. Marie Transit will not operate tomorrow. Regular weekend service resumes tomorrow. And that includes us as well. We'll be off tomorrow, but we'll be back on Monday. Have a happy Easter and an amazing long weekend. Good night.